welcome to the Heavy Artillery Show. I'm your host, Arash, and this will be the fifth episode. So, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and like. That will help the channel to grow something. That's pretty good. And this week's sponsor would be DY Nutrition, one of the best nutrition for all athletes. Nutrition, they got everything in a DY Nutrition. So if you're looking for a top nutritions, then look no further than dynutrition.com, www.dynutrition.com. And this being our sponsor for the week, let's start. It's been one hell of a week because last week I predicted a couple of things that the Trump team has been listening to me, although I'm not getting paid or anything. So I think I should send them an invoice. Because, first of all, I spoke about Iran and how they should help Iranian people and, make them to live better and change the attitude. 40 years of sanction obviously didn't work, so they should change their attitude. And just a few days ago, you can see this came up.
I'd like to see Iran thrive, and they can do that, I think, very easily, or they can do it the other way. The other way is not going to be good for them. It's going to be really bad for them.
So, you saw what Donald Trump said, right? That he wants to see Iranian prosper and get back to the, international community. That was one prediction. Then I spoke about Greenland, right? That he should pay each person in Greenland like $1 million so they can get the fuck out of there. Because who wants to live in Greenland if they got $1 million? But Donald Trump went cheapskate on me and he offered only $10,000 per person and $1,000 a month per person, which is not even enough to cover the rent. Well, I urge you, sir, if you want to get your hands in those, rare earth minerals or whatever you want to get your hands on, you got to pay a little bit more than $10,000. And $1,000 a month, that's not going to cover anything. That's like a, cheapskate. So, yeah. But at least we're negotiating. That's a good part. And what else has been happening this week in Marbella? Well, it was a good Easter, and for Easter Sunday, I went to the church and had a hell of a good time till, of course, 2 days ago, our beloved Pope Francis passed away, age of 88. And that's very sad. Being a Catholic is like losing a father once again. So, yeah, rest in peace, Pope Francis. And my prediction, because a lot of my friends asking me who you think is going to be the new Pope, but it's very difficult to predict. But the Secretary of State of Vatican, he is my candidate because he's born in 1957, which every other candidate is born in like 1945. They're already 80 years old. So why not to have a little bit younger Pope, just for a change. I really hope that everything goes through, and I really hope all the Catholics in the world somehow pray for the Pope and pray for him to rest in peace. So it's been a tragic week for me Monday was not so good. But that's life, right? You live and you die. That happens to all of us. What else can we do? Nothing, right? Okay, let's get back to the news. We got some robberies in Marbella. We got some, you know, the refugee crisis still going on, and lots and lots of traffic. And they keep piling up with the traffic. I don't know what's wrong with this. Um, you know, the whole system here doesn't work because they build roads and then they build another road, but they kind of block one road to build another one, and the traffic goes crazy. And in the middle of everything, you got the Policia Nacional stopping people to check what's going on. So it's madness. If you want to get through Puerto Banús, it takes you 45 minutes sometimes to just go 1 kilometer, like a 1.5 miles or something, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. The crazy the way they do things, just blocking the roads, checking everybody. Usually they check for immigrants, or foreign cars. If you have an English car and you're driving here in Marbella, you're screwed because if they catch you, you got to pay taxes. And on top of the taxes, you got to pay what they call multa, which is like a ticket. And it costs you like thousands and thousands of euros, which the car is not even worth it. You just want to get rid of it because, well, basically, I think that's what they want. They want you to just give up on your car and they can take it away. That's the system here in Spain. And other things, what's happening here in Spain, which is pain in the ass, is the taxes. You got to do your taxes, tax return. Here, your last chance here in May. So if you have a counter, what they call a gestor, you got to get your ass moving and get it done before it's too late because they come after you and they put embargo on your bank account like they did with me. I woke up and it was like zero on my bank account. They just took it all without any warning, without any, like, usually they send a letter like you owe this and that. But no, 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 no. You just take it away. Boom, it's gone. So if you got tax issues, you're screwed here in this town. I'm telling you that right now. And I like half of you, half as well as I should like. And I like half of you, half as less as you deserve. Go figure that one out. On the international news, we got Romania, which is not a democracy anymore because the guy who actually won 50% of the votes, because he didn't declare 19 euros on his Revolut account, they took him out of the ballot. And that's not democracy. But democracy is anyway an illusion that we, somehow think that this democracy works. Look at Romania. I mean, that's just one example. Then look at Germany with this ADF or whatever. They call it the far right, which is bullshit. And everywhere in Europe is trouble, and mostly with immigrants and mostly with the Muslims. Too many Muslims in each country, and that's what happens with democracy. Well, in a few years, let's say 20 years, 30 years from now, the rate of how many children they have and how many children Catholics or Christians having, well, Christians from Germany to Scandinavia, I mean, that's just a show. There is nobody going to church. They just use it for, getting married and stuff. especially for gay people. They insist to marry, uh, you know, in the church, even though they don't believe it. They don't believe in God, they don't believe in religion, but they want to marry in the church. Go figure that one out. Well, how's that even possible? I don't know. But the rate that it's going right now, France is gonna be the first one that's gonna have Sharia law. Good bon chance to you, French people, and followed by Germany, and Sweden is already, you know, if you're Swedish, well, condolences, because it's worse in Stockholm that there is in Damascus. So what's that mean? That means like in Damascus it's more safe than it is in Stockholm, land of IKEA. Is a dangerous land. Nobody would believe that 20 years ago. Nobody. But that's how it is. So, and UK, well, I don't even know what the hell is going on there. They got Russell Brand charged for a rape for 20 years ago, but they got mass rapists, um, like Pakistani gangs. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. So gang rape is okay, and nobody looks into that. But someone like Russell Brand is screwed, or they tried to screw him for something for 20 years ago. How's that even possible? Well, it is possible because he is speaking against the system. He spoke against COVID and corruption in the, with the politicians in UK. And anybody stick their head up, they get cut. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. You don't want to be under the radar, but somehow some people have to say something. Some people have to really stick their head out, and maybe few of us will, you know, end up badly for us, but mostly we're gonna make it if we stick together. But there are too many socialists out there that want to play God, and they want to play that, you know, that everything is about the system. The system is God, and let's create children. Let's, don't believe in the family, believe in the system. And it's just sad. It's a sad affair to live in a world like this. As far as I'm concerned, I love my daughters, I love my grandchildren, and I try to be as much as possible with them and to be a good grandpa. Even though I look very young to be a grandpa, but I have 3 grandkids. I'm very proud of it. Yeah. What else is going on? Apart from Europe is just crashing down badly. Canada, look at Canada. What's going on there is the same thing with immigration. They lost control of the country, and nobody's doing anything. That's Canada. The only place that people can look up to is actually United States now. They got a strong leader like Trump, and even though Europeans hate Trump, well, they're just wrong, simply wrong, because it's a different system. He thinks differently. Anybody thinks differently. It's not good. You should think in a box. That's how you should think. You shouldn't think for yourself. You shouldn't do your own research. To find out what the hell is going on. You get whatever the TV is telling you, and especially in Scandinavian countries, the TV station is owned by the government. So whatever propaganda they want to tell you, they're very convincing of that. And whatever TV says, people do, and they believe in it. Look at the COVID. Look in Denmark with the minks. They killed all the minks because of the COVID situation, which had nothing to do with anything. They killed millions and millions of mink. They're animals too, you know. Environmentalists, they don't give a damn. They killed millions. And somehow, with the apology from Prime Minister, then everything was all right. You know what I mean? So, critical thinking is very important. Then I was watching TV the other day and I see 2CTV, this English channel on YouTube, with an Iranian background host. Well, he speaks British, he's got a British accent. So it's like Harry Potter. Oh my God, Harry Potter. I'm like, oh my God. You know, this just the way he speaks. So he wants to sound sophisticated, and he was urging not to make a deal with Iran because the people just about to rise and throw the regime out. But that's just bullshit because the regime has been there for 40 years, my friend, and the sanction does not work against the regime. They got plenty of money, and all their kids are going to the ivory schools around the world and getting well educated while the people are hungry. And thank God someone like Trump is smart enough to help the people not to be hungry so they can rise against the regime. So what you're suggesting, I don't know. I don't know what part of Iran you come from. Personally, I'm from Tehran, Zafaruniya. And, well, guessing you must be from some little village somewhere. So you don't have any knowledge. You can just talk with your British accent and sound very, very clever. Well, listen to this, buddy. You don't know fuck all about what's going on with people. When people are hungry, they're not going to rise because nobody can afford to have their father going in prison. But if some NGOs, and let's say not the corrupt ones that Elon Musk is fucking up, but if the NGOs promise the people, if the guy who provides, usually in Iran, the man works and the woman stays home like 80% of the time. So it doesn't matter, a woman or man, whoever gets arrested, cause of rising against the regime, well, the NGOs should cover the damage or pay the family for the time served. You know what I mean? Like it could be a maximum like $500 a month for the family of three, or $700 a month for a family of five to survive. If their bread maker or who brings the bacon home gets arrested, well, actually, they cannot bring bacon because it's a Muslim country, but that would be funny if they did. Um, Whoever brings the bread home, they should cover the cost. I'm sorry, it's just funny with the bacon thing. They should cover the cost of the person who got arrested so the family can survive. Right now, if somebody gets arrested, the family cannot afford food. So I don't see that this 2CTV, Told CTV, I don't know what the fuck it's called. I was watching the other day. I'm very disappointed that he's urging for no negotiation with the Iranians, regime. Well, I got news for you. It's not going to be any regime change anytime soon because they're not so stupid, these Ayatollahs. They've been there for a long time, and Iranian people, as long as they have food and some freedom, which they are seeing it myself with the hijab, is not there anymore. I mean, you walk around Tehran, if you go on YouTube and search for Tehran, you all think like it's a desert and there's more skyscrapers than New York. Take a look. And you got the biggest mall in the world located in Tehran. So it's not just some camel riding sand thing, it's sophisticated city. And these Ayatollahs are not so stupid. So I urge you to research this for yourself. So the third prediction that I had with the Donald Trump is director of Secret Service. And if you look at my Instagram, which I will provide for you here, you can see the picture that I photoshopped my head on the top of the director of Secret Service head. I photoshopped myself, and that guy, I did that picture in August 2024, and January 20th, he became a director of Secret Service. And one more thing before I wrap up here, I was just saying a quick shout out to JD Vance. I'm not accusing you of anything, JD Vance, Mr. Vice President, but I would hate to be the last person who visited the Pope and 12 hours later he died. That one must hurt a lot. I'm not saying that somehow you brought bad luck, but I'm suggesting that maybe, you know, something to do with your. He looked very scared. If you see the Pope, he was just sitting like this, or the JD Vance sat in front of him, and because you can be intimidating to normal people, ex-marine and vice president of the United States. Well, I urge you all to look at the interview from Vatican between J.D. Vance and the Pope. God bless his soul. Let him rest in peace. And that's it. So the sponsor of this week was DY Nutrition, Dorian Yates product. One of the best, if not the best, in the world is dynutrition.com. You can get anything you want, and they got a green line coming up, which is different from the white line. The green line is like ecological for vegetarians, people, and the people who like to eat green stuff. So they call it the green line. And that's all. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Till next time, catch you later.